What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video your girl wanted to bring you an update on some favorites. Now I'm not gonna lie, this is not gonna be the best list and it's definitely not gonna be makeup heavy, but I'm sure my next favorites is definitely gonna be more makeup heavy. These last couple of months, although yes, I've been enjoying makeup, slowly testing it out, all of that stuff, I just can't distinctly think of a favorite where I was like, this is something that I cannot live without, especially since my February favorites, which I will go ahead and have down below. And so I just wanted to be true to me and talk about a lot of the things that I have been really enjoying. There is still makeup though, so in the event that you're interested in hearing not only about makeup but some body care, some fragrance, and then later at the very tail end I'll talk about some like books and TV shows, then let's just get into it. Now, really quickly, I do want to say that I did not record this look today. So even though I didn't record this look today, I did basically stick with, when it comes to the mattes, I sticked with my Lick and Lash palette. I did just end up doing a tutorial earlier this week focusing in on the purples and the oranges and just kind of in you know, whatever, with today being 420. I also just finished watching a video by Morgan Turner and she was using both of the Huda Beauty palettes, so I just kind of wanted to play with some color and of course match my shirt. So that's that. And then if you're wondering shimmers, the shimmer in my inner corner is from that Lick and Lash palette. Otherwise my shimmer is once again from my Cliona stained glass collection. So I will have everything down below that is on my face, so please just feel free to check down below. I do have a combination of things that I'm still testing out in the background, things that I'm really enjoying, stuff like that. So let's start off with makeup. I did just want to point out a couple of things that are actually in my project pan. Granted, pretty much everything that's in my project pan I am enjoying. It is a favorite, that's why it's there. I'm really actually actively project panning products that I actually am enjoying right now, but there were a couple that I did want to go ahead and highlight. Specifically the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Now this is a primer that I had previously a sample or a tester kind of amount of product, and I never went to pick up a full size until I got down to I think like 2 primers, and then I decided to go ahead and splurge for this. This is pretty much my only primer that I actually have in my collection that is technically an actual primer, and I am still very much enjoying this product. I find that it goes on like a gel moisturizer, but it really does have a form of grip that my foundation really stays onto my skin longer than it may otherwise have. So I truly enjoy this, and I not only use primer in general for, you know, its like application that it says it's going to do. So for that one it says it's gripping, others they say they're going to be kind of good with oils and all that jazz. I also use a primer as a base or a barrier between my skin and the makeup, just another barrier so that hopefully I can prevent breakouts, etc. So either way, first product I want to talk about is the Milk Hydro Grip. Then I actually want to talk about 2 foundations, one that is actually currently in my project pan I've been enjoying, and also the one that is on my face right now. So the one that's in my project pan is actually my Tarte Face Tape. I don't want to show too much, but basically this is my foundation that is in my project pan, and I've been really enjoying it. Not only with the amount of coverage that I get, I do tend to take 3 pumps of this product on a sponge, and then I apply it all throughout my face, and I get the perfect amount of coverage for me. Not only do I feel like my skin is evened out, but I also feel like I'm able to kind of more heavily pack the foundation into the areas that I need a little bit more because I have some hyperpigmentation. The shade is beautiful for me. This one is 57 in Rich Neutral, and I just really enjoy it. I will definitely miss this foundation, but right now I'm trying my best not to kind of go back and repurchase some of these foundations that I've been going through lately. I really just want to go through some foundations, and I actually have my eye on a couple others that I would like to try, and then maybe I'll circle back to some of these foundations that I've panned in the more recent past. The second foundation that I wanted to talk about, like I said, is what's on my face today, and it is actually the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin. Now, I have now tried this multiple ways, both with the brush, which is the way that I showed you guys in my video, but today I actually applied it with a sponge. Now, obviously with the sponge, I did need to use more product, but I feel as though the finish is still good, if not even slightly better, because I feel like I got a little bit more of a hydrated look to that foundation. Now granted, I set my foundation, my concealer, my bronzer, all of that jazz. I set it all, so it's not going to be overly glowy or overly kind of moisturized looking as a skin base, but nonetheless I still feel like it just overall, I really like this foundation. Now, this is not my perfect shades for right now. This is 21 in. I believe I went through the shades on Sephora and I dictated that I would have to go all the way down to 17 in to get the next neutral undertone, which is what I prefer. I do prefer a neutral undertone. So I am actually actively thinking and considering doing that because I do like this foundation. Now for me, I am not that person that has two shades of one foundation. That's just not something that I ever do. But I think I'm going to wait to potentially get a duplicate, maybe if Danessa does a sale, or just wait until I get down a couple more foundations, because I do have a target goal when it does come to my foundations that I want to keep in my collection and not go over, just based on the amount of foundations that I've gotten through thus far this year. There's just a certain quota that I want to kind of hit and then kind of stick with that quota. So to round out my base products, the next product that I want to kind of really highlight is actually the LYS Triple Fix Brightening Concealer. Once again, this is actually what's on my face today, and this is in DN3. I really like this concealer. It is full coverage, but it's not overly full coverage. I really like the feeling of this on my skin, and I feel as though even though it's full coverage, it can easily work with like a medium coverage foundation. Now, like I said, today this is my combination, so these two are pretty much full coverage automatically off bat, but I really do like this concealer. I love the shade. It is light, and I feel like once again my combination doesn't look terrible. Now I will say, after that video where I showcased this for the first time, it did look decent on camera and it did look good in person, but a couple hours in, once my oil started to kind of break through that powder, you could definitely see that the foundation was not my shade. So that's definitely something to consider if you are like me and you're trying to be bullheaded when it comes to certain things. Maybe it would just be best to get another shade, and especially with this, the fact that I can literally just kind of take out the actual foundation part and only have to buy the refill, it's not terrible. I don't feel as wasteful. I would prefer if I could get it in store, but I think the last time I checked, this is actually online only. So maybe if this goes into store, it'll just be easier just to feel more confident with my shade choice. I did almost forget about my KVD concealer. I am still enjoying this concealer as well. This one has I would say even more coverage than the LYS. It also has I would say kind of a better doe foot, in the sense that it's like this foot kind of applicator or whatever they call it, that they said mimics like a fingertip, and you can just apply a good helping of this product and it blends beautifully. I have never had a problem with KVD concealers. Previously, one of my really close friends actually gave me the full coverage, the like Tac2 I think full coverage, and I really like that concealer too. I think I either lost it or finished it and forgot, and I'm not mad to have this, but once again, this is not the shade that I think I will reach for the most. So I'm pretty confident now that I will be going back to get the better shade for me, and to maybe in the future actually use this more like in the summer and stuff like that. Okay, only a couple more makeup items that I can think of right now to really highlight. If I remember something, I'll just highlight it in the next favorites. And it's actually wanted to go with a lipstick. So this is from Huda Beauty, and this is in the shade Gold Digger. This is a beautiful shade. Now this is in her cream lipstick formulation, and I have now worn this quite a few times on my channel, and I've also showed you guys the application in my more recent new makeup video that happened, I believe, last month. This is a really good product. It is a nice full coverage creamy matte lipstick that is the perfect shade for me to get so much use out of it. I'm really excited to see how much use I can get out of this product, and honestly I'm curious to see how long it will last. It's not that much product if we're really looking at it, especially when it comes to me. When I have my favorite lipsticks, I can run through them, so I'll be very intrigued to see if I actually repurchase that. Then I have a highlighter that I wanted to mention, and I have to do it. I really do. This is the Pat McGrath Bridgerton highlighter in the shade 002 Incandescent Gold. This is a beautiful highlighter. I do really enjoy a glittery highlighter, very similar to the one that I have today, which is from KVD. It is from their Metal Crush palette, and this is in Gamma Ray. This one is different though because it has a white base, but I still feel that it gives me a very similar finish. You see that glitter, you do see the light icy finish, but because it's a light white gold, it still works with my skin tone really nicely. So yeah, out of all the highlighters that I've been working with, which really aren't that many, I think the two from this collection and then my project pan are pretty much the only highlighters that I've had more recently that I picked up or even used. That one is definitely a favorite. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've really been enjoying this, but like new things is definitely that highlighter. I did also just want to go ahead and shout out the lashes that I've been wearing. I'm not the best when it comes to applying lashes. I don't think I will ever be the best when it comes to applying lashes, but I feel halfway confident in applying these. I do. I like the fact that they're only half, so I don't have to kind of deal with getting the lash all the way around my lash line. It's just that last little piece in the back that I have to get it around, and I think it just makes it easier personally for me. So overall, this is my eyelash situation, and because I don't really test out a lot of mascaras and all of that jazz, there you go. Okay, actually, since I brought up mascaras, let's just go ahead and give you guys a fail. Okay, I completely dislike this mascara. This is the Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water mascara. I believe this is a tubing mascara. I do not like this. It is actually what's on my eyes today, and I wanted to try it again just to make sure. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I would not recommend it personally. It does nothing for my lashes. It honestly makes them look super small. I don't find that it gives me any extra length, and I don't find that it gives me any volume no matter how many coats that I put on there, and that's just not something that I am willing to do. I need it to give me what I need in the moment because I got to go after I put everything on, you know? So that's that. Okay, so two kind of random products that I pulled from my bathroom as I was kind of preparing for this video. One that I don't believe I've highlighted in a video, so I definitely wanted to make sure I highlighted it in a favorites video, is my sunscreen. I really enjoy this sunscreen. This is the Supergoop Unseen sunscreen. This is the SPF 40. I believe this is technically a physical sunscreen. Am I right? I'm probably not right. No, I think this is a chemical sunscreen. Either way, I really like it. I love that it is literally a clear sunscreen, although I am considering actually trying new sunscreens. But if memory serves me correctly, I bought a backup. So if I bought a backup, I'm going to use that. I'm not going to buy something else. But if I did not, then I have some other things that I'm interested in potentially looking into. So we'll see. But really good sunscreen. Highly recommend if you've ever had a problem with your sunscreen showing up. I have not tried the Black Girl sunscreen yet. I know it is currently available at my local Target. I just haven't gotten around to picking it up. Honestly, when I'm in Target, I have to be like blinders on, get what you need and get out, and I try not to get stuck into, like, you know, the void of Target. So that's why I haven't picked that one up, but eventually I will gird my loins to do that. And then the other kind of random bathroom item, I don't think I've ever talked about this item, is the Tea Gel Therapeutic Shampoo. This has really been helping. So I've been talking on and off about the fact that I've been having some scalp difficulties. From what I can tell now, it's like a thing where my scalp is just overproducing some form of something. I don't know. Honestly, me and hair just really don't get along. I don't like to pay attention to it. I don't like to give it any ounce of my time. All I know though is that this has been really, really helping, but I will caution, if you do kind of consider this product, it does strip your hair. My hair feels like straw after it, and so I really need to use a really good conditioner afterwards to really hydrate my follicles. But I will say, to really ensure that I get that scalp nice and clean, and I wouldn't even say dandruff free, because it's not dandruff, it's just buildup, and it's like skin flakes coming off of my scalp. This really does help. So yeah, I typically will use this every other wash, and then on the opposite washes, I will use a more hydrating shampoo, just to make sure that I'm not always stripping my hair follicles, but I'm also giving it some hydration as well. I have some nail polishes that I wanted to highlight as well. So two that are actually both cream bases that I used in my last manicure, which is the Night Owl Lacquer's Squeeze the Day, and then also Hollow Taco's Matcha Maker. I really enjoy both of these particular shades, both of the particular formulations, and the brands overall. I have formulations from both of these brands in a variety. I have their shimmers, their holographics, multi-chromes, all of them from both of these brands. I enjoy every last formulation. So in the event that you are interested in kind of deep diving into a brand, I would highly recommend both of these brands. Both of those brands are independently owned to my knowledge, so they are a small brand that you would have to order online and then have it shipped to your house, but I truly do think it is worth it for both of those. Then we have two other kind of smaller brands. One is actually the nail polish that is currently on my nails right now, which is Polished 4 Days, and the shade is Oogie Boogie. I really enjoy this shade. I love it. I love that it has like this flaky base with iridescent multi-chrome shifts in it. Really enjoying that, and I actually think I'm gonna go ahead and just reapply my nail polish with that shade again. And then more kind of towards the tail end, right after my previous favorites video, I was really enjoying this one, so I wanted to go ahead and highlight it. And this is what is it? It's I Love Nail Polish, the shade Shockwave with the H in parentheses. So really like that one as well. It kind of looks kind of galactic to me, so always a plus in my book. Now here comes the fragrances. I don't have too many. I tried to keep it nice and small because I have been testing out a lot. So I wanted to kind of give you 2 samples and then 2 that I like actually bought. Like I bought all of them, but like, you know what I mean? So let's start off with the samples. I opened up my Ellis Brooklyn sampler pack. I bought like, I think they're like original basic sampler pack. And I originally opened it because I wanted to kind of get a nose on all of the samples and then eventually kind of tell you guys the ones that I would recommend or the ones that I was enjoying. And then I just kind of never got around to doing that video. But I will say this, my floral that I enjoy, at least from that sampler, is the Sci-Fi. I was going back and forth between this and the Rose or whatever. It's the Rosé, or maybe, I don't know, it's spelled really weird, but it's like Rose or Rosé, one of those. I was going back and forth between those 2 samples, but this is definitely one that I've reached for most and more consistently. So this will definitely be the one that I splurge for from the brand. It is not a cheap bottle by any means, but I believe I'm now on their listserv to get a discount on their website, and I still have like my I am a new member discount, so I may go ahead and pick that up soon. I also really want to try their Starfruit fragrance. Based on Laura May Beauty's review, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love that one. She was saying how basically the top note from that is pear, and I really love pear scents, so really excited for that. And then the other one that I told you guys, I talked about it before, and this is from I don't know how to say the name. Chris, it's KYRSE, I believe, is the perfume brand, and the scent that I've been enjoying the most is Putty Yuzu. This is such a beautiful sweet spring scent. I'm really enjoying this. I believe this has some peach, nectarine, something like that. I've gotten through pretty much half of this sample, and for me that's a lot because this is not a spray, this is a tapper, okay? And so for me to have gotten through that much, that really shows the dedication of me wanting to apply this product to me. Really enjoying it. I just need to get around to honestly getting on their website and picking it up, but I do definitely want a full size, and I also need to figure out how big of a size I want to pick up, but I'm really enjoying that one. And then two products, I had to do it. Rihanna Rebel Floor. I went through this very quickly, still thoroughly enjoying this scent, although I've put her on the back burner just because, like I said, I've been testing out quite a few different scents, but I have a video that I'm cooking up in the back of my head, and it will be surrounding this baby and some other of her friends. So I'm really excited for that video. Hopefully it does work out, and yeah, I would highly recommend this scent. Really cheap. You can find it on FragranceNet for like $20-$30, and I think if you get the 3.4 ounce, it's more around that $30 mark, where I think this one's more around that $20 mark. And then the more expensive, but certainly not least, is a Tom Ford fragrance. Now I haven't shown you guys this to date just because I haven't done my monthly haul, but I did break down and buy the sampler set of the 3 kind of rose scents that Tom Ford released more recently. I just really wanted to get my nose on them. I couldn't find them in store anywhere, and I was just tired of it. So out of the original sniffing, my favorite was the Rose de China. The China one, the rose from China. This was really nice. I was very surprised. I thought I would really love the Russia one, but I don't really like it. I don't know what it is about that one. I don't like it. And then the second to this is definitely the Maldives. So I think this is the one that I'm gonna pick up. I've been eyeing it at Sephora, but it has been out of stock religiously and consistently, which is fine. I still have quite the bit of product still left in this little tube, so I do want to go ahead and finish this one up before I pick up a full size. But very excited to have this, very excited to have finally gotten my nose on those. And you know, on the positive, I bought it from Beautylish during their gift card event, so definitely happy that I was able to kind of get money for spending money, if that makes any sense. Now, so for kind of lifestyle, I've been doing really good actually. So I told you guys I work out pretty consistently. It's been sketchy quite on the very recent month, mainly because I got COVID and I really couldn't leave the house. I couldn't even do anything. It was just all bad. And this past week, it's just been a struggle because I've just been very exhausted. And so I haven't been able to make it to the gym, which is very unfortunate. I am slightly disappointed, but I will get to the gym hopefully soon, and I'll be excited to do that. But I did want to point out that I have been taking creatine, and I've been really enjoying the effects. I feel like I have been doing really good. This one happens to be from Buff Chicks. I really wish that this brand was in some store near me so I could just pick it up in store. They have some other products that I would love to try out. But I've been really enjoying this. What I do is I have like that protein shaker bottle, but I took the little ball out. So I put this, and I have like also an electrolyte powder that I put in my bottle, put some water in there, shake it up, and I drink that during my breakfast where I usually eat oatmeal. And I've just been really enjoying the effects of that. It gives me some boost. It also allows me to do better in the gym the next day, and I am always happy about that. I am always happy to be increasing my weight and to be trying different things, just really enjoying the gym overall. And I'm really glad that that was in my room so I could remember to talk to you guys about it. Obviously, one thing that I didn't mention, and I'm just, come on, Blake, get it together. My stained glass collection from Clionadh. I've been really enjoying playing with this. This has been a thing that I've been playing with more recently, but I've been really enjoying getting my fingers in these products, putting them on my eyes. They are what's on my eyes today. I believe I said that earlier, but I've been really enjoying playing with that. And I did just want to highlight that. As I looked over, I saw it and I was like, you can't not talk about it. Now, I did want to highlight one TV show that I have been loving from Netflix. I have, I believe, 4 episodes left. I think I stopped because I got sick and I didn't want to have a bad mentality watching that. Like it was at the pinnacle of K dramas, and I had to keep it there. And it is actually Business Proposal. Bro, it is a Netflix original. Honestly, Netflix originals have been hitting it out the park for me in the last couple of years, especially in the K-drama world. They're chef's kiss, okay? Chef's kiss. And Business Proposal is so cute. Oh my gosh, the level of cuteness that both of the guys, they showed up and they showed out, and I can't wait to watch the last 4 episodes. I already know it's gonna end well, okay? I don't know if I think I got spoiled a little bit, but that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with it because I am still very excited to continue to watch it and see how it fully unfolds. Now, as for books, this is going to be hard. You guys know I read a lot continuously. I read a lot, like to the point where to date I have already read 80 books, which is actually slow for me. I'm usually somewhere quicker, higher up at this point in the year, but it's okay. So I've really been enjoying the manga series Solo Leveling. This series is insane. So if you are into video games by any means, this is basically a video game but in a manga format. It's spectacular. I've been loving every moment of it. I am currently on, I believe, volume 4, I think, and I cannot wait to finish that and then pre-order or kind of force the library to give me volume 5 because I want it so badly. I also really have been enjoying this Juve or children's graphic novel series, which is T-Dragon. It's so cute. The graphics are spectacular, but the messages that they give you are what I need to hear even as a grown adult. I'm pretty sure I'm 28. I think that's the right age. But as a 28-year-old, the messages have just been great. They've been great, and honestly right now where I have a lot of life decisions to make, those messages have really hit home. They've really hit home. Nnedi Okorafor, okay, she is one of those authors that I feel like I can give a blanket, read her, you'll love her. And I finally finished Noor. It took me a little while, mainly because I feel like I have to think with her books in a good and a bad way, you know? Some days it's bad, most days it's good. And I like to read them and kind of figure out why she created this and like how she's seeing this in real life, you know? And Noor is another spectacular book that I would highly recommend. Loved it to pieces. I loved how she brought humanity to somebody who may have seemed to be more machine, and then how she displayed the problematic aspects of that situation. I've also been loving Tessa Dare. Where has Tessa Dare been in my life? Tessa Dare is a historical romance author y'all. Okay, I need to know if there's like a black equivalent of Tessa Dare. I need to do some research to figure that out. I do work at a library, so you would think I know, but I don't. Not to my knowledge right now, but I will be looking. Tessa Dare, she brings the comedy and the sass and the feministness to historical romance that I live for. I live for it, and her books are such quick reads, which I really do appreciate. They're quick little bites and morsels, and you follow like a cluster of friends or a group of people that are somehow connected, and you watch them fall in love. And like, who would be disappointed to do that? I'm not. I love it. I think I've already read 2 or 3 of her series, and this is in like a month span. And I am now waiting on pins and needles for the library to give me the first 4 books in another series so I can read now her 3rd series. It is what it is. It is what it is. I've also been slowly continuing, like I said before, to read Murder Bots. Still really enjoying that. I also, okay, so this is a very weird series, but it connects to me. It is Tommy Chan is a girl. It's talking about a tomboy who grew up doing martial arts with her best friend who happens to be a boy, and how to a certain point he didn't even know that she was a girl. And so once they get to high school together and she started wearing the required uniform for girls, which is a skirt, he was like, what is that? Why are you wearing a skirt? Stop joking around. Put on some pants. And so we're following them realize that they have feelings for each other and how they're gonna dress. It's right there. It is right there for me, and I love it. So another book that like it's there. It is Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. So I don't actually remember what drove me to put a hold on this book at the library, but I'm so happy that I did. This is the first book that I've read where it is a non-binary character falling in love with a female. And if you want me to kind of give you the more non-PC version, it is an FF romance, but one of the characters identifies as non-binary, or yes, non-binary. And I really love this book. I loved not only that aspect of the relationship, but I also loved the reality TV aspect. And it's not a reality TV like dating, it's a reality TV cooking show. So I really enjoyed both aspects of the book. I think the author writes really well, and I do anticipate reading more from them in the future. I read so much. So it just takes a little while. It takes a little while. Oh my gosh, so many books, so little time. Another book that I had such a cute association with when I finally sat down and read it is A Sweet Mess. This is by J.C. Lee. I ended up reading the second book in this series first, and then I went back and read this first book. You don't necessarily have to read them in order, in my opinion, but you know, I do tend to prefer it if I can. Either way, this is a romance where it is between a food critic and a restaurant owner. Well, it's not more so restaurant, she's a bakery owner. And chef's kiss. I love it so much. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna end with this one just because I feel like if you are not on Book Talk, this is kind of the Book Talk recommendation that I actually got around to reading in this last stretch of time, and that is It Happens One Summer. And this is the first of the 2 books following the 2 sisters, where basically they get forced to leave their home, mainly because the older sister is a party girl heiress, and she keeps damaging things, she keeps ruining plans, and so she's forced to go to like this small sea town to kind of reevaluate her life. And in doing so, of course, she falls in love with the grumpy sea captain, and chef's kiss. Okay, chef's kiss. I cannot wait to read the second book. I literally have it here in my room, sitting there staring at me, and I haven't picked it up. But I will. Don't you guys worry. Like I said, I've already read 80 books so far, and that's with me taking plenty of days off for me and like not even really trying to get through reading. I do have a goal of like slowing down this year. Like I said, I do tend to read a lot, and I'm trying to have more life experiences, and not necessarily only be the bookworm. Which reminds me, this is the perfect conclusion for some life experiences that I did these past 3 months. I did 2 awesome things. So I actually did an escape room, which was the first time for me. I had so much fun. I did it with a sorority sister, and we had so much fun. You know, we were going back and forth, and because we are quite close, it was really cool to see a different perspective of her personality and to see me in that perspective, because I am usually the more like level-headed, logical one, but I'm telling you, she had me beat when we did that escape room. She had me beat. And then for the second thing that we did, we also did indoor skydiving, and oh my gosh, so much fun. Highly recommend if you are able to. It's not too expensive. I mean, it's expensive, don't get me wrong, but it's not like insanely expensive. I believe like the basic plan where we get, I think, 3 like rides or 3 like flights, it was like $80 something. And then what I would recommend, if you are excited about it, pay for at least 1 high fly. We didn't end up doing that just because we didn't know what that was. We didn't understand the significance of it. And that is one thing that I do regret. I regret not doing a high fly, but it's all good. I am excited about the fact that I did it, and I'm hopeful that I will be able to do it again. And I think that's going to be the way that I kind of do my like life experiences now, is that I'm going to try and do 1 per month. That's a lot for me. I really am a homebody introvert, so for me to do 2 experiences in the past 3 months is a lot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these favorites. I understand it wasn't makeup heavy, but you guys see the makeup that I'm doing. I review it constantly, and I figured, you know, since I don't have something that's really sticking out to me, why not talk about some of the other things in my life that I'm really enjoying as well. This eye is starting to water for some unknown reason, so I think that's time for me to say goodbye. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you for my next one, which will be tomorrow, for my next video in my new makeup releases. Bye guys.